What's going on, Cleveland?
What's up, Cleveland?
We in the building today. We're here at WOVU. My name is LaRese Purnell. I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Meltrice Sharp, and my business partner at CLE Consulting Firm. And we're just happy to be here. Today is our inaugural show, and we're right here in the community. We'll be the voice of the community when it comes to your money. And we're excited about this show. We're going to jump right in. I want to introduce again Meltrice, man.
Yeah.
How you feeling today?
I'm excited. I mean, man, when I get an opportunity to talk about finances with the community, I just get excited. You know, it's the thing that's killing us. So if we can get power and control over this, we can win. So I'm all about winning.
That's right, man. Hey, we're going to talk, you know, the hashtag, the most common hashtag is we securing the bag. But no, this show is going to really break down. It's bigger than the bag, man, because the bag is only but so big. I want to talk about securing the properties, securing your block, securing some wealth, securing some investments, securing a bank account. I mean, securing a legacy.
That's right.
Y'all ready for that?
Yeah, we're here to educate, elevate, and wealth create.
That's right, man. So it's going down, man. And you know, today, you know, we want people to call in. So you want to call 216-271-0959. We want you to call in, ask your questions, and we're going to really just go ahead and jump in, Meltrice. Let's talk about what's going on, man. It's the elephant in the room. Everybody's talking about. You turn to every station, every newspaper, every blog.
Shutdown.
It's a shutdown right now. So what y'all thinking, man?
It's killing us. I'll tell you that. I mean, you got people that can't even fulfill their basic needs. They can't even buy lunch for their kids, you know. So you got schools trying to fill in the gap. You got stores trying to fill in the gap to give people food. So my thing is, our community is dying because they don't have any savings.
That's right.
So I think it's highlighting, the government shutdown is highlighting for us how we need to sit back and really look at our financial situation.
That's right.
And make sure that we have savings for a rainy day like this, because you're going to have a rainy day.
That's right.
I don't think any of us can avoid it, but at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we're prepared for that rainy day. So we can't talk about anything else. We got to talk about this government shutdown, LaRese.
That's right. So you heard Meltrice talk about emergency fund. 95% of Americans will not be ready for retirement. If you count 10 people in the room with you right now, and only one person in that room has $1,000 in their savings account that they don't need to pay the next bill that's due. Did y'all hear me? 1 out of 10 are not prepared and do not have more than $1,000 saved. And you know, I'm talking to you doctors out there listening. I'm talking to you lawyers out there listening. Because they come to CLE. They come to our business. We deal with them. And that's not everybody. Like they say, everybody ain't broke. All your cousins them ain't broke. But it's a lot of us that are broke. And again, we talking more about not just money, but building wealth.
Yeah.
But we got to start at the beginning where we're just talking about acquiring assets, you know, building an emergency fund, making sure that you're paying yourself first. So before you pay Saks Fifth Avenue, and before you go to Nordstrom's, or you up there at, you know, Beechwood Mall at Zara's and all that, you got to make sure you got a little money put away.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got to make sure you don't spend every dollar from the paycheck, you know, hitting the clubs, going out to dinner. But we're going to break that down. We got to talk about that.
I got to throw these statistics out here because I think this is critical. A survey was done. 8,000 people responded. 39% of 8,000 people had zero money saved.
Wow.
That's pretty alarming. 18% had less than $1,000 saved.
Wow.
So the question that we have to ask our audience is, what if it happened to you? I believe some people are out there suffering because they were impacted by this government shutdown. What are they doing? I think another thing is we have to challenge people to help each other, right?
That's right.
So what are we doing to help each other? Talk about Monday. What are we going to do on Martin Luther King Day? How far have we advanced since Martin Luther King died?
That's right.
Where are we going as a community?
And they said statistically that this generation is actually going backwards financially. So we really start to get into it. It's not like we're making progression. We're actually going backwards as a community. So, and again, we're not here to beat you up on this station. We're not here to beat you up on this show.
Yeah.
We're going to fill you with information. But the information we give to you, you got to shift your mind. You got to change some habits. You got to get more discipline so you can use this information. Because one thing to hear it, but it's another thing to apply it and use it and create some real wealth. Right. So, hey, man, so again, before we leave every day, we're going to make sure we drop some nuggets to you. You'll get your tips of the day, but we'll also give you some homework. So when we get back on the show, because again, He Said, She Said will be on every Friday. We'll be on the air on WOVU at 11 to 12 o'clock, man. And we need you to be engaged. So if this week being our first show, hey, we will have next week, we'll be joined by Jeff Johnson, Cleveland's own. He'll be calling in. We'll be talking and breaking down about wealth building. We'll have some other special guests in the studio with us. So, hey, man, it's all about you. But, hey, Meltrice.
Get ready to get naked.
That's right, because we're going to get free.
That's right.
And look, we got some people that say, naked, what do you mean by that? No, we mean we're going to share our stories so you can get open and understand that you're not the only one standing in the payday loan lines.
That's right.
You're not the only one at the auto title places because you already paid for the car, but now you're taking the title back to pay for the car twice. But in some cases, because you have bad credit, you're actually going to pay for it 3 times because you already paid for it twice with that high interest rate because you didn't have good credit. So we're going to really break this thing down. Yeah. Y'all see where we're coming from. So, hey, Meltrice, well, you got some statistics for us. What's up, man?
Well, before we get into that, I want to ask a question because I think a lot of people listening to us is probably saying, I can barely pay my bills. What you talking about saving? Yeah. And so I think, we have to unpack that because I'm from a single mother. I was raised by a single mother. And oftentimes in our community, we don't just take care of our children. We take care of other people's children. Our community is plagued with people that are addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol, and leave their family. And so our parents will take on a niece or take on a nephew with limited income. So we talk about savings, but I think we have to unpack the ideal or the notion of where do we get these savings from if we living from paycheck to paycheck. So let's talk about that, LaRese. What do you think about that?
Yes, one is you can't balance something you don't understand. And when I go and we talk, and do financial literacy sessions and trainings, in a lot of cases, people say, man, why he always start out with the budget? You got to start with a plan. If you don't know where your money is going, how can you plan to get ahead? How can you set a savings plan? How can you say that you're going to prepare for retirement? So first, you got to start with that budget and understand, what are you paying out? Do I even make enough money? Am I too broke to have cable? Am I too broke to even have a car?
That's right.
Should I be on public transportation until I set myself up where I'm not getting behind and going to lose a car anyway? So really understanding, what are your monthly obligations? 1, do I make enough to cover it? 2, what do I need to cut back and it's excessive? And you know what, Meltrice, another thing is, we deal with this in the office. I tell people before we even get started, we're going to talk about your finances and really develop it. Bring your bank statement in.
That's right.
Pull your bank statement.
Really spending your money
on. My goodness, it tells a story. I don't have to know you. The first day I meet you, if I pull in and I pull down your bank statement, it will tell me if you like to eat out, if you like to shop, if you like to go on vacation, and you don't like to pay bills. Because if I don't see no bills, but all I see is KFC,
Starbucks, that's
Starbucks, all the different places, to eat. But I don't see no bills being paid. I know that's not your priority. So you got to start there, man. Then when you know what you're working with, then you can go ahead and then, really break down and make sure you're paying yourself first.
Like they say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Oh, man.
So your budget is your plan.
That's right.
Your budget is your plan. And I often emphasize to people who call me about financial stuff, are you writing it down?
That's right.
Because, the financial intellect is easy, right? It's a simple formula. It's like losing weight. We know you eat less, you work out more, right? The formula is simple. It's the execution, because the execution is really psychological, right? So it's the discipline behind it. We have to learn to be disciplined. We have to learn to really take our community back. We're consumers as a community of people, and we're not owners. We're not wealth builders. We're not wealth creators. And we have to shift our way of thinking. We have to shift our plan of execution. Right? So we have to make sacrifices that a lot of us aren't willing to make. We just talked about this earlier. We care more about the Prada bags and the Louboutins and the you know, whatever, you name it. I have girlfriends that tell me I'm too cheap, but I tell them I would rather have money in the bank as opposed to a whole bunch of clothes that I can only wear one outfit at a time and one pair of shoes at a time in my closet. So I like to be nice and presentable, and I like the best of things like all the rest of them. But at the end of the day, I like to be able to feed my family. I like to be able to have an emergency.
You're living for tomorrow.
Fund. That's right.
You're living for tomorrow.
I'm not living just for today.
You know what? Let me say this. The Institute for Policy Studies did a recent report. It said between 1983 and 2013, the wealth of the median black household declined by 75%.
Wow.
From 6,800 to 1,700. And the Latino household declined 50%, from 4,000 to 2,000. But in the white household, it increased 14%, from 102,000 to 116,000.
Wow, what a gap.
Okay, so did we just say 1,700 compared to 116,000?
Wow.
Hey man, we got some work to do, y'all.
A lot of work.
We have some work to do. Again, don't let your closet be more valuable than your bank account.
Absolutely.
And again, I'm not talking to everybody.
Right.
I'm talking to the people who need to get their finances in order. So again, because everybody's like, well, LaRese, I'm not there. I got $100,000 saved. Hey, I'm set up for retirement. Then guess what? Who in your family have you not passed that knowledge along
to?
Who are you
to
helping?
make sure that they're in order as well.
Yeah.
That's leaving a legacy, is when you're leaving not just treasures, but you're leaving talents, you're leaving resources, you're leaving time. Those are also resources to build a legacy as well, man.
Yeah, and we don't like to talk about it. That's the problem. We don't like to talk about it in our community. It's not a sexy topic. So if it's not sexy, we don't like to talk about it. But at the end of the day, our communities are dying. When you roll up the street in our community and you running into potholes or about to have an accident because you're trying to avoid a pothole, or all of the buildings are, boarded up, our community is dying. We don't even have the capital to take back our community. We're consuming in our community by people that are not like us. So we're going to the corner store and nobody that look like us own the store. That's right. So we have to figure out how to make this shift, make this transformation. And so we just hope that you're open for it. We hope that you stay tuned and you continue to stay tuned on Fridays, 11 o'clock to noon at WOVU 95.9. We don't take this conversation lightly. And we're glad that you joined us. And we want to welcome some callers in. We want to hear what you have to say. 216-271-0959. What do you have to say? How are you handling, your savings? What are you doing in that area?
Yeah, hey man, we want to hear you call in. Again, call in because we want to hear it. And two, it was a blessing that my partner, she also is of the other sex.
Yeah.
Because I want to hear from your perspective, from a male and female's perspective. Because we don't always think alike when it comes to money.
You're right.
We don't want to start.
We have a lot of arguments.
Oh my God. We don't want to start talking about the joint accounts. We don't want to talk about sharing your wealth. We don't want to talk about sharing the life insurance policy before we got married in our second marriage. Sharing the assets. Should both of our names be on the house? So call in. Let's talk. We ain't gonna argue on here. We just gonna have a conversation. It's gonna be a little heated fellowship, but we all gonna get something out of what we got going on.
So let me say this, because I did do a little research, and in 2017, women are still way less confident than men when it comes to their finances.
That's right.
But we're the ones that spend the most money.
That's right. That's right.
So we're gonna talk about that when we come back.
Okay.
WOVU 95.9. Welcome back, WOVU 95.9. He said, she said. Thanks for staying tuned in. when we went to break, we started talking about women versus men and savings. So I want to hit you with this, LaRese. Do you think all is equal with women and men when it comes to savings?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't want to cause no problems.
Come on with it.
I'll be very honest with you. I think that, of course, it goes based on the personality, how people have been raised. There's so many dynamics that determine how people are with their finances. If they grew up, in a poor situation, they tend to want to save their money and manage it better because they don't want to end up in that same situation again. But if you grow with parents who just spend and had no budgets, and then, it was just all about how you look. So, I think it transcends into as you get older. But I would say, that's a tough question, man.
There's no one size
it's no one.
all.
No, but I'll say that I feel like people, social media has done something different to people when it comes to saving, because people are trying to keep up with the next
Keep up
post.
with the Joneses. And the Joneses are broke.
That's right. They're trying to keep up with that, the post right before they post. She had the new bag, she had the new whip, she had the new car, or house, or whatever the case may be. So I got to make sure that I upscale that person. So I think social media has done, some damage to people when it comes to creating balance and setting priorities. So I think it's just based on how you live your life and the standards, how you grew up, and what you're trying to accomplish as well.
I think it's a little more challenging for a woman, though.
Okay, tell me how so?
First of all, the median earnings for a woman is $638 a week compared to $798 for a man. Okay. So we getting 80% on your dollar, and we probably working a little harder.
Oh man! Okay. So we gonna go there. Let's go.
We gonna go there because I work till midnight and I come home, my husband chilling.
Yeah.
And then I have to take care of the kids, right? So we work a little bit harder, we get paid less.
So if you're a Southern brother, though, do you need the extra income because you're the one who take care of the household bills?
Ooh, okay. You gonna go there, Roman. But let's go back to it.
Okay.
Oh, let's go back to it seriously. But no, that is an issue, right? Women make 80% on the dollar than men, right? And then a lot of times, like I said, we have a lot of single women out there. Now, I know single men in terms of parenting is on the rise, right? I get that. Yes. But we have a lot of single women out there. And we as women, especially black women, we tend to take on the weight of the world. Yes. Right? So again, like I said before break, we're not only taking care of our kids, but we're taking care of other people's kids. And a lot of times we're taking care of kids in the community. Yes. Other people's kids in our family. That's and right. Then we're taking care of kids in the community. So, sometimes it's a challenge. I was a single mother for some time. Yes. You know that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, until my king came and swept me off my feet. But I was a single mother for some time. And I tell you what, I tried to save and tried to save and tried to save. And every time I would get a nice nest egg, an emergency would come up.
That's right. Okay.
So then I would tell people, now my nest egg look like a grain of rice.
That's right.
Because I have to spend it. But I think when I look back, there were opportunities for me to do better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I wasn't willing to make the sacrifice.
So would you agree though, the way you save really, of course, didn't have anything to do with the amount you made, because it goes back to when we talked earlier about the budget being put in place.
You're living below your means.
Absolutely. So if you make $700, you gotta live like you make $700, not $1,000.
Yeah. You probably should live like you make $500.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So I would say, being a single dad, my kids have a great mother, but we do shared parenting. I have my kids 4 days a week with me.
That's a blessing.
And I'll tell you, it's tough. I'm living on one income.
Right.
Used to being married, having two incomes. Now it's one income and still living the same lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I had to personally realize that I had to make some adjustments. I couldn't live like it was two incomes in the household. So I had to, make some adjustments on maybe how much I traveled, maybe how much I spent on my kids, how much I, invested in certain areas. I had to make some adjustments. But that's going back to making sure that we budget appropriately.
Right.
So it all comes down to what I always say. It's mindset.
Yeah.
It's
Mindset.
discipline.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
understanding what you make and running your money and not letting your money run you.
Yeah, it's not emotional.
No, not at all. Not at all.
It's a numbers thing.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Now, if you know, we were talking last night, man. Since you want to bring up, who makes more and all that. Your girl called and started some trouble in the office last night.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she started some trouble, man. You want to? I mean, let's talk about that. Let's talk about this subject she brought up last night.
Well, it's if you have a partner, the question is, do you put your money together? And what does that look like if you guys don't have the same philosophies on spending? Or what's the formula? I think that's what she was really asking us. Is there a right and a wrong way to do it? Should you put all your money in a shared account with your partner? Well, let's be real. Let's not say partner.
Yeah.
Let's say spouse.
Yes,
Because
that's
partner
right.
and spouse is very different.
Oh, very different.
So should you put all of your money in a pot with your spouse? And my answer was, hecky no. I love my husband and all, but you gotta have a little separate pot.
Look, that's grandma and them though. They teach you got to keep something hidden that he don't know nothing about. So when he don't do right, you still could be on your feet. But I don't know if I agree with that,
that's not-
man. I don't know if I agree with that, Meltrice. We was going at it, y'all, for about 45 minutes about this, and this goal still ties into savings,
Right.
because when you're starting out in a relationship, a marriage, a new marriage, and you come to the table, the question again is, if I bring 1,000, should you bring 1,000? Should I bring, if I have $1 million and you got 10,000, should I have to put my whole $1 million in, or just match your 10,000?
Yeah, and I think it's about making sure you have a shared philosophy about finances.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
what happens is that we get all emotionally tied into a relationship, and we forget to talk about those critical things that actually end relationships, right?
Yeah.
So when we talk about one of the major factors of divorce and breakup of relationships, it's typically around finances.
That's right.
Right?
That's
And so that's why it's so critical, is because we are not having the right conversations, not in our relationships, not in our communities. And so we're having a real light day today with you guys, just because this is our first segment, but we're going to get real deep in the future. But that's the reality of it. It's not a sexy topic, but we got to talk about it.
Yeah. So,
We gotta talk about it.
But I'm gonna tell you, for me, and the fella's gonna kill me, man. So if you want to call in, we said 216-271-0959. I'm telling you now. I think, for me, I'm old school.
I am too.
I was raised, my mom taught me, if you get into a marriage with a woman and she gives you her life, you take care of her when you're with her and when you're not with her. And people are like, you crazy. We divorced. That ain't your responsibility. But if she has my children, the way she lives affect the way my children are being raised. So for me, I felt like I bring it all to the table, because in relationships, I truly believe that there's a breakdown in trust.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, hey, we're going to go
There's
ahead. Let's take this call in,
All right,
man.
we got a
poppin'?
call. Let's see who calling in.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
Hello, who we got on the phone today?
We got Mr. Thompson out here at E-Prep with my entrepreneurship class.
Okay, what's up,
Hey,
Mike
Mr.
Thompson?
What's going on? What's going on?
So you in the building at E-Prep, man. Yo, which y'all right there on Union 93rd, right?
Yeah, right on the corner, 93rd and Union. I'm sitting here with some 6th and 7th grade entrepreneurs out here.
Hey,
wow.
y'all.
What's going on, y'all?
Y'all ready to change the world?
Yeah.
That's right.
I get it, man. I see y'all over there. Hey, what's up with this E-Pop y'all got going over there? Y'all doing some real live entrepreneur stuff right there. What grade are y'all in?
7th.
Oh, wow.
7th over there.
Right now, the right time to be having the conversation.
Hey, man, Drico, they over there securing a bag on 93rd and Union. I mean, they all over there, man. You listen, I mean, you know what hey, man. So talk to me, Mike. What you calling in for, bro?
Just calling to talk about the finances, just, getting started early as far as the entrepreneurship. And I feel this is a perfect time with these student kids I got right now, man. Really taking charge on a lot of things.
Yeah, I think it's important to start early, right? Because we don't start early in our community. We don't sit at the dining room table. We don't talk about entrepreneurship. We don't sit at the dining room table and talk about savings and not spending your entire income on stuff, right? So I think one of the things that you guys need to take into consideration at the gentle age of 7 and 8, right? Did they say 7th grade? At the gentle age of 7th grade is start saving so that you can finance your plans. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to start a business, that takes money. So start saving.
Yeah. Hey, first I'm going to bag up Mike because I got to give you a shout out today, man. I've been knowing Mike. Mike worked for me right out of college in Toledo, man. And this dude, I've watched how he's impacted, the youth right here in our community, right in the community where this radio station sits as well.
Wow.
I mean, he's impacting kids by the hundreds, man. And to come to your class and see how you're infusing the importance of owning their own, building assets, create entrepreneurs, and letting their visions come alive, man.
Yeah.
I want to say first, I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for what you're doing with our kids. But yeah, I mean, like Meltrice said, what you're doing, you answered your own question. Just keep doing what you're doing, bringing new faces in there, exposing our youth to some great things and great people that are making moves here in the city and are elevating and creating jobs, building assets. So, man, I'm proud of you, man.
Breaking generational curses.
Hey, man, keep doing your thing over there, bro. We support you.
That's right.
Definitely. I had a good example, man.
Look, man, it was hard, man. I wanted to fire you a couple times, but I couldn't. I couldn't. HR stopped me, man. HR stopped me. Nah, I love you, bro. I love you, man. Thanks for calling
in, Mike.
All right, take it easy.
Okay, we'll talk.
All right.
So yeah, man. So
that's important though, because that ties into what we want to do is start talking to kids about finances. We have to start talking to kids because sometimes when we get older, it's too late for us. We're not willing to change. We're not willing to make the sacrifices. We're stuck in our ways. But if we can start changing and shifting kids' philosophies on money, we can start changing our communities.
Okay, man, we're going to go ahead and break out.
All right.
Hey, stay tuned, y'all. 95.9 WOVU. What's going on? We back here, y'all. Thanks for staying tuned to 95.9. We got a call on the phone.
What's going on? Who is this?
Hey, good morning, guys. It's Veranda Rogers.
Good morning.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Veranda.
We appreciate you.
Thanks for tuning in.
You got a call? What's the question of the day?
Yeah.
What's the question of the day? I know you got something hot for us.
Absolutely. So I do have a question because, as you know, with Struggling with Possibilities, our organization focuses on helping underserved women in the community learn about financial literacy and things like that. The question is, how do we tell someone who says that they have more bills than money coming in each month to save when they actually feel like they don't have anything to save?
Man, Veranda, first of all, which I know you do a great job, and I'm glad we got some great people calling in today that's really making some impact in this community. So we're proud of the work that you're doing with these young mothers. But I would say to you, it goes back to what we talked about earlier about building that budget.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know where your money is going, because that's always the people. They always say, I don't have enough money.
Right.
And when I speak, I have a saying that I say, we pray for a blessing, but we are blessed. We just don't know what to do with the blessing. And that's a true statement. Sometimes we think we need more money, but we just need better habits.
Yeah.
And if people sit down and understand where their money is going, you'll realize if you only make $500, you can't spend $600 on rent.
Right.
And if you know that you only make $500, that means that you probably got to spend $100 on rent so you can afford the electricity bill, the cable, the phone bill, the car note, and everything to fit within that. So, and
let's be real. Some of the things you just mentioned are wants and not needs.
That's right.
So it's all really about living within your means.
That's right.
And I have sat with people when I said, let's look at your budget, because I have this conversation with friends and family all the time. First of all, don't come to me if you're not willing to change and willing to make the right sacrifices. But second and most importantly, let's really look at your budget. The cable is not a necessity.
That's right.
Right,
That's
not right now. We're not saying that you can never have cable. We're saying get your finances together so that you can do it confidently, right? And comfortably. You can have that cable, but for right now, it's important. It's imperative for you to make that sacrifice. So first of all, let's scrub your budget. And a lot of people, they spend $1 here, $2 there. That add up after a while.
That's right.
So, it's about making the right sacrifices. And then if you really scrubbed your budget and you really have controlled your expenses and you just, there's nothing else you can do, then we have to talk about converting a hobby to a money generator.
That's right.
Or
going
income
back
generator.
to school.
Or working a second job.
Working a second job. Making sure you get that additional degree so then you can negotiate more money. So, man, it's just so much to consider, but I would say start there within Veranda to really let people see where they're at. Because it always, every time we do
Start
the
with that
workshops,
budget.
it blows people away when they really find out where their money is going. Because sometimes when you're living a day-to-day life, you managing the kids, you managing work, you managing your travel time there, and from there, you're trying to cook dinner and all that. How much time are you dating your money? I said something this past week. I said, we always say in a relationship, we're going to have a mandatory date night. What about a money date night?
Yeah, I like that.
So you spend time on Googling the next vacation, Googling the hottest shirt you want to buy, making sure you have the boots for the kick it that Friday. But how many hours are you putting into Googling about your money?
Yeah.
So how many websites have you pulled up? That's a question I ask people to really talk about investing. I share some.
What's your screensaver? Is it a picture of you? Broke you?
Yeah.
Or is it a picture of your financial goal?
That's right, man. So we appreciate you. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Veranda, and thanks for all you do in the community for women that have, been birthed with something and feel like they can't achieve it. Thank you for helping them realize that they can achieve anything. But it all starts with a plan.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you answering that question.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you guys, and I do got to give my 2 cents about the separate bank account. So here's my 2 cents because I posted. So I think that men and women, married couples, let's say, should have the majority of their money going into one account.
I agree.
Because I feel,
but not all.
You can have separate accounts, but I think there needs to be a limit or a cap. Because I feel like when you start having separate bank accounts, it opens up room and opportunities for any and everything to happen because you got money that the other person don't know about.
Speak. I hate to see a couple talking about, can I use $20? How am I borrowing money from my wife?
Okay, wait. Let's
pay
clear
my wife that
something
$20
up.
back?
Let's clear something up. I'm not saying that. Okay. I'm saying
What you saying, Meltrice?
Listen, we talked about
saying?
starting with the budget, right?
Yes.
So every year, my husband and I, we sit down and say, what are we doing? What are our goals this year, right? What are our goals going to cost us? What are our operating costs, right? So how much are we spending on rent? How much are we spending on cars? How much are we spending on insurance? And then we determine, okay, so the whole pot is this much. How much are you going to put in? How much are you going to put in? As long as that pot is full, you get to save whatever you want to save on the side. We'll revisit that again.
We'll talk when you stop in.
We'll revisit that again. All right, Miranda.
Have
a good one. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. So, man, it is. This is interesting. Miranda had to start some trouble. Now we got to go to the office and deal with this all day with the staff. But no, seriously though, y'all, we're having fun today with you, talking about how to build wealth, talking about the importance of savings and being on one accord.
Yeah.
And it's something that truly, if you set a budget or you set a plan in your house, if it's only you're the only one who knows it, how you ever going to reach the goals?
Right.
When I set a goal for my house, my children, we sit down and talk about it.
Yeah,
One I always say is my excuse to say no when we out.
Right.
Because I always blame it on the budget.
Right.
It doesn't fit the budget. But no, seriously though.
Accountability.
Yeah, it's accountability.
Yeah.
But then also what we're doing as well is we're creating, I would say, stability in their lives because we're teaching them young on how we actually talked about money, how we have money conversations, how we built wealth, how we made sacrifices. The thing is, when people leave our households, kids leave our household, young adults, they don't understand nothing about money because it wasn't taught.
Yeah.
They're not teaching it in the schools half the time. When you go to college, you're on your own, so you're learning the hard way.
Yeah.
And who says that people always say life is your best lesson?
No.
Why do our kids have to go broke to learn a lesson?
Yeah.
when we can just teach them? Again, in other cultures, we bring the Jordans or we bring the hottest tennis shoes to the baby shower. They bring life insurance policies.
Yeah, I
they
shift
bring
that.
savings bonds.
Yeah.
So come on now. We really want to talk. So we already are setting a mindset, a baby staring at them brand new shoes from an infant.
Yeah.
All the way up.
An infant with some Jordans.
Yeah, so they
that
3
can't
years
even
old.
walk.
I need some J's,
Right.
Dad. I'm 5 years old. I need some J's, Dad.
Yeah.
How about you stand in the bank line with them and let them meet the bank manager at 4 years old to say, hey, this is who run the bank. This is where Daddy puts his money. This is the plastic card that you think grow on trees. So my kids was 7 talking about, Dad, just pull the card out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the card got a limit, right? Right? They like, no, Dad, you got that plastic card.
It's our responsibility to teach them.
That's right.
My husband and I, we talk about this all the time. We don't buy our grandkids gifts, a whole bunch of gifts anymore for their birthdays and for Christmas. We buy them stocks. We started them a savings account, a college savings account. Like, it's our responsibility to make the transition, to shift people's ways of thinking in our community and our own household. And we have to do it. We have to do it. There's no other way. So, LaRese, let's talk real quick about some things people can start to do to kind of shift their way of thinking. But is there another caller? Do I hear that?
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
All right. We'll talk about that after we take this other call.
What's going on? Who do we have on the phone today?
Ricole White.
What's up, Rico?
Rico, what's going on?
Nothing. How y'all doing?
Good, bro.
Thanks for calling in.
What you got for us, bro?
Man, I just calling in, man, and see what you want me to discuss, man, or disclose, or
Hey, man, you know what?
any way I can help and assist.
Yeah, Rico, man, this dude, if you're looking for a home, you want to be a home owner, if you want to build some asset, this has been a brother who's really been putting in some work. And when I go back to our Flip This Biz day, this was the guy who jumped in and really, man, rolled his sleeves up and helped to build a black business right here in this community, man. And this guy's doing, making moves when it comes to real estate. And bro, I just want kind of just give a tip that you would say if people are looking to become homeowners. What would you leave them with, man?
A tip if they want to become homeowners.
Yeah. What's important, man, for moving from renters to home ownership in our community?
For moving from renters to homeowners in our community, I think that buying a home will be a great asset versus renting because you're investing in something that you can give down to your children. I would say a tip is to make sure you buy in at the best rate and take advantage of all the opportunities of first-time home buyers. They have so many programs with Fifth Third Bank, Huntington Bank, that can help you with payment assistance. They have a program called NACA that can assist you and give you one of the lowest rates for first-time home buyers. I think they're at like 3.5%. It's a program. It's a little lengthy, but it's worth the wait.
Yeah.
So I would leave you with that. Just take advantage of the first-time home buyer opportunities because you can be in a $100,000 house paying $600 a month.
Wow. Did you? And Rico, we did a couple classes together, man, and I appreciate you again for what you do. You heard what he said: $100,000 paying $600.
That's less than what you paying for rent.
We're gonna give again. We always giving homework. If you're paying $800 a month right now to rent someplace, in a year that's $9,600. In 10 years, that's $96,000. He just said, $100,000 you're paying $600. So you could actually save some money. So when we talk about being able to invest and save, if you do the math, it's cheaper to own than rent. Now, I ain't saying the hot water tank ain't gonna go out, the boiler ain't gonna go out, that's the roof ain't gonna have a hole in it.
That's the purpose of savings.
But that's the purpose of having an emergency fund.
That's right.
But at least now you have an asset. So again, I want you to do the math. You've been renting for 5 years. Do what you paying, because I got people that come to our office talking about they paying $1,500, $18,000 a year. In 5 years, that's $90,000. You could have bought a house at $600 a month. So y'all see what we talking about? Building assets in our community. Let's start becoming owners, y'all.
Yeah, let's own
Rico,
stuff in our community.
man, brother, we're gonna have you on. So we're gonna reach out to you, man. Love you to come in, talk about real estate and how we really can make some moves here in this community, man. Thanks for calling.
Thanks for calling, Rico.
I love it. Yes.
Okay, thank
I
you,
look
brother.
forward to it.
All right.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Okay.
So yeah, y'all hear it, man. These callers, man, they got some great information, man. They sharing some good stuff. We need y'all calling in. We're gonna talk about the hot topics. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. We started off talking about the government shutdown and the impact that has. You know, there's a lot of free resources. Use Google for the right things, man.
Right.
There's resources right here in this community. U.S. Bank is giving loans if you can verify that you are a government employee.
Yeah.
There's other community resources. If you just Google that right here in this community, remember, even if you get your taxes prepared, if you have that last paycheck, if you have that W-2 and you want to get an advance on your taxes, you can do that as well. So there's ways, and I don't want you to use that to go broke. I don't want to see you at the payday loans. I'm saying make sure you exhaust all your resources first that are out there, that are being put out there by local churches, local nonprofits. Maximize that opportunity first, man.
That's
okay?
right.
So,
Right.
hey.
And don't get it twisted.
Yeah, man.
Oh, we got another call?
Oh, no. We're going to go ahead and break for a second, man. We'll be right back with you.
All right.
95.9.
Welcome back to He Said, She Said, WOVU 95.9. Thanks for tuning in. We hope y'all having fun with us today. Right now, we have a whole bunch of callers. Our phones are ringing, and we understand why. So let's take some of these calls before we wrap up for today.
Who we got?
Who we got? Hello.
This is Elder Mark Jackson here.
Elder Mark Jackson.
Hey, Elder.
What's up, Elder?
Amazing.
This the money man right here. So I know you. So we need to have you on the show. This is your show, man. What you got for us, man?
Well, first of all, let me just say to LaRese and Meltrice, thank you. This show is amazing. I've been listening from the beginning, and as a people, I think we can be so secretive as a black race. Unfortunately, it's somewhat of an epidemic, but we choose to hate instead of celebrate each other.
Oh, say it again.
Don't start a whole nother topic on us, Elder.
This is good. I just want to appreciate y'all and celebrate this, because I've been listening. I'm hearing y'all talk about. I'm gonna tell you what really grabbed me is when y'all was talking about singles. And y'all were talking about should everything go to the same pot, or should we, one person keep it? And I just wanted to throw my little cents in there.
Please.
I'm not married yet.
We're gonna speak it though.
You say yeah.
But what I would say is I just would throw out that it might be a good thing to possibly put everything in one pot, everything, and then allocate it to each other at a certain percentage.
Yeah.
In the sense of maybe this person gets 10% and you get 10% or whatever. We in this thing together. What you do with your 10% is on you. What I do with mine is on me. But that's just an idea.
No, I
don't think it's a one size fits all. I think that's the thing, Elder. I just don't think it's a one size fits all. I think people come into the relationship with different financial philosophies. People come into the relationship not even having the right discussions about finances. So then you sometimes have one person dragging you down, and then the other person carrying all the weight.
But y'all shouldn't be married. That should be a counseling.
Well, that's
though, right?
true.
So that should have been handled in marriage counseling.
But let's be real. If it was handled, we wouldn't have a 50% divorce rate, right?
No,
and a rising divorce rate.
Yeah, it's communication and money, y'all. It's communication
and money. But that's why we're having this conversation today.
Yeah,
that's why these topics that we'll be bringing to you every Friday from 11 to noon are important topics for us, for our relationships, for our community, for our children. So thanks for calling, Elder.
Thank you, man.
All right, we're gonna take this next call. You have a good day.
Thank you.
All righty.
Okay. So, hey, you know what? In the building today, we have Mr. James Oliver. This is, a tax guru. He's a part of CLE Consulting Firm. He's our director of taxation. And we want to talk about, because we start off with the government shutdown, and people are, they have a lot of questions about their taxes. Hey, jump in, James. Tell them what, they could take advantage of right now that could even help them through some of this hardship.
Well, got great news. CLE is doing this year loans. So if someone needs up to $6,000 in a loan in advance before they get their refund, we can do that for them. So it's just a matter. We can do it in 24 hours. You put an application in with your taxes, and we can have an answer for you in 24 hours.
Man, hey, y'all heard
That's an
him.
opportunity. You don't have to be out there struggling. There are resources. That's just one of the many resources that are out there.
Man, I'm going to tell you right now, the producer looking at me, but I'm looking at my phone. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I got about 13 text messages saying the lines are busy. The lines. I had Danita Harris just text me. Dr. Ellis text me. We could keep going down. Nikki. The line is going.
We sorry about that, y'all. This is our first day.
That's a good problem, man. Keep on calling.
Yeah.
Keep calling.
That's
you
right.
know, I'll sing for y'all till y'all call.
And
man.
tune in every Friday, not just this Friday. We want to hear from y'all every Friday. So let's take this next caller. Who we got here? Hello.
Who we got on the line? Who's on the line?
Darnell Sanders.
Darnell Sanders, Mr. Ohio State. Mr. Ohio State. Hey, Darnell,
Hey, Darnell.
What's going on? Hey, y'all know Darnell was a Cleveland Browns player, a tight end. This brother graduated from high school with me and went on and did his thing, man. He's an excellent businessman in this community. Hey, hit me, man. What you calling for, man?
Hey, I saw your show and I wanted to just give a call in and give the support, and you can see what y'all talking about.
Man,
I hope you like it so far.
What you thinking, brother? We doing all right?
Oh yeah, man, I love it. I love when people talk money. That's one of my favorite things to talk about.
You said one of your favorite things is talk. Money talks, right?
Well, that's right. Money is power. So if you don't have any money, you don't have any power.
You know what, Darnell? Since we got you on the phone, man, because you were a professional athlete, what are one of the things you would say, a tip you would leave for our listeners from your perspective that you want to leave for them? I mean, that would be impactful to people trying to save money and the importance of it.
Yeah, I would just, the biggest thing is. I can more or less speak on my situation. I can't really speak on everybody else.
Yes.
My situation is when I played, I didn't have the longest career. I had an okay career in the NFL.
Yes.
And I know when I played football, I thought, as I was playing, I thought I was young. I was a king.
Yeah.
I thought I was a king, and I thought my money would never run away. When my career was over, I was always an entrepreneur, so I was always into stuff. But one thing I found out is once my money wasn't coming in weekly like it was when I was playing football, I had to make some adjustments. So I had to, I couldn't do all the things that I did while I was playing, of course.
Yes.
And I just had to really just focus on for me, I'm always about focusing on growth. I don't focus too much on saving.
Yes.
For me, I figure if something bad happens to me, like if it happens too bad, I'll be able to hopefully figure a way out how to get to it. So I mostly invest all my money. Like literally all my money I invest, and I don't put too much money away for a rainy day, because I just feel like this. If God say, Darnell, hey, you're going to be sick and we're going to have to take this time off, I look at it like, listen, I'm not saying it's the right thing to do or the bad thing to do. I'm going to probably maybe liquidate some things, or maybe possibly maybe just run up a credit card or something,
Right.
because I figure if it's that bad for me, and if I'm like, if it's that bad, then I probably ain't going to recover from it anyway.
Wow.
Okay.
So you got a different philosophy on savings.
So
you don't save at all. You invest it all.
Yeah.
But,
You go for it, man.
You go for it.
That could be looked at as saving also, though.
Absolutely.
Because it's ways that I can, pull my money out of something if I had to do it or whatever.
Yeah.
If I had that rainy day or that emergency come up.
So it's no problem. But you know what I want you to do for me? Because we're going to go ahead. We're getting ready to end this show, man. I thank you for calling
Thanks
in.
for
I
calling
actually
in.
have Josh Cribbs coming on in 2 weeks and a couple other players. And I'm going to definitely reach out to you to come on as well so we can talk about that from a professional athlete's point. So I'll reach out to you, bro, so you can come on for that segment as well, man. Thanks for calling in, Darnell.
Thanks for calling, Darnell.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right.
Okay. Hey, I want to again say thank you for listening to He Said, She Said.
Yeah,
man, my
WOVU.
phone, man, it's blowing up, man. I mean, Pastor Willis, we got Nikki Miller. I mean, Danita just texted me again. I mean, people are calling and the phones are blowing up.
Thanks,
the line
y'all,
is
for
busy.
tuning in.
We appreciate the support, Cleveland. We love you.
Yes.
And we're going to build businesses here. We're going to build some wealth, and we're going to do it in fun.
That's
Because
right.
we all family in the building.
Yes.
Meltrice, you want to leave them with something?
Let's gain some knowledge. Let's elevate. Let's wealth create. Let's take our communities back, one building at a time, one street at a time, one family at a time. Let's get together and let's do this. WOVU 95.9. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in right here Friday next week, same time, 11 at noon.
He says, she said.
He says, she said. We'll see you
Peace.
then.